This podcast is brought to you by Elite Level Status Wines. My wine journey started with drinking cheap grocery store wines that were really acidic and gave me headaches. Then I switched to quote-unquote luxury, but overpriced, full-bodied wines that were really heavy and had a bad aftertaste. The inability to find the perfect wine led to the creation of Elite Level Status Wines. Elite Level Status Wines are approachable, medium-bodied wines with great flavor and minimal aftertaste. And with me being a health-conscious person, I wanted to create a wine that was lower in sugar and lower in calories than the full-bodied mass-produced wines that we always see. We currently have two wines. First is our Cabernet. It has notes of blackberry, cinnamon, plum, nutmeg, and French vanilla. Then we also have our rosé wine. Our rosé is going to be a flat, dry, pink rosé with subtle strawberry and raspberry flavors. Both wines are medium-bodied wines with less sugar and less calories, and they're both available on my website, elsfinewine.com. Check them out, and I hope you love it. Thanks for clicking the link and checking out the Elite Level Status podcast. Since you're here, I have a special offer just for you. It's 15% off either of my wines. So click the link below and check them out, and I hope you enjoy the podcast. Elite Level Status Podcast, we're back again. Always remember, you can catch us on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Today, I have a special guest. We're going to talk about modern dating, but modern dating with a child. Her name is Diane. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Will. I'm so excited to be here. Just a little bit about my background. I am going to be 39 years old, and I am a managing partner at a small boutique gym here in the Southwest. It's called Rec Room. We took ownership in October. We're doing great. We have over 100 members now.
Wow.
I have a team of 10 trainers, and it is by trainer only, so it's by appointment only.
Okay.
So there's no open gym there, so there's no open memberships there. But we have trainers that, specify in functional training, strength training, athletic training. So yeah, that's a little bit about my background.
That's awesome. And if someone wants to potentially work with you, how would they reach out to you?
You can go onto our website. We have inquiries on our website that you could just fill out a little piece of paper, what you're looking for, how many times you're wanting to train, if you're wanting group, partner, or private training.
Okay, perfect. And I'll make sure I have all your links and social media tagged when I post this episode.
You.
Awesome. So let's jump right into it. So what are your biggest pain points in regards to dating as a single mother?
Oof, pain points. Let's get a little bit comfortable here. I'm going to put my feet up, okay? So let's get a little bit comfortable here. Pain points. I think the number one is going to be time.
Okay.
So as single parents, single moms, we already don't have a lot of time for myself. I'm going to speak solely on myself.
Okay.
Between running a business, between taking care of my son. My first job is being a mother.
Right.
So while I am a personal trainer, when I get home, that is my most important job. And then when I do have free time, if I'm choosing it to spend it with somebody, that means I'm investing in that person,
Absolutely.
Right? So for me, time is the number one thing. I think the second one would probably be any hardships you might have with co-parenting. Co-parenting, you can have a lot of blurred boundaries, maybe some drama if you don't get along with the co-parent. And then just having certain boundaries for that situation.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, not all co-parenting situations are bad.
Right.
I have a lot of friends that co-parent tremendously, and I envy them. But there are some co-parenting situations where it makes it a little bit difficult to get into that dating life and really, truly investing in somebody because your ex-partner doesn't it's a lot of drama sometimes.
Right. I can understand.
And for me, it's like, I think the only thing I really want to touch base on that, because I don't want to go too much into the co-parenting side, is that you have to love your child more than you hate your ex-partner.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. What's something that men should understand before dating a single mother?
I think that you need to understand that you have to be emotionally available to date a single mom. With that being said, is that if a single mom is choosing to talk to you, invest her time in you, spend her time with you, You're not competing with 20 guys in her DMs. You're competing with a life that she already built for herself.
Okay.
You are competing with her peace and her heart.
Yeah.
Most single women protect themselves and then they let their guard down because they feel the love. Single moms, they got the Great Wall of China around their heart because they are protecting not only themselves, but they're protecting their children too.
Right.
And I think a lot of men say, oh, yeah, it's okay that you have children, but is it okay? Because it's not. It's not always going to be okay. Dating a single mom, you are going to have things that come up. Your child might get sick. The babysitter might cancel. Plans are going to get canceled. So dating, which can be black and white, isn't black and white when you're dating a single mom. It's going to be gray. It's going to be blue. It's going to be red. And I think a lot of men don't understand that because, you know, a lot of men want pick me, pick me, pick me. But good parents are always going to pick their children first.
Right.
And I think the dating comes secondary.
Right.
And I think a lot of men say, yeah, it's okay that you have kids. They don't understand what actually goes into saying, yeah, it's okay that you have kids.
Right.
So.
Okay. So a lot of great points there. Something that I don't think men properly understand is that it's not about men competing with 20 other men. It's about competing with your peace.
It's competing with my peace.
And understanding that your child comes first. I think that's a great point by you. I think that when men see women with a child, you know, your default is, okay, there's like 20 other guys. And if she cancels on me, she's going with some other guy. To your point, the babysitter could have canceled.
Yes.
You can't control that. You're not going to leave your child alone.
No.
So I think that men need to, you know, give that benefit of the doubt. But unless, you know, you've had that experience or you have the opportunity to hear something like what you just said, a guy isn't going to be thinking like that.
And most of them don't. For me, it's when men say, oh, she has 10 other guys on the back burner. With what time? What time do we have? Investing in one person is already so much. For us to have 5, 6, 7, 8 guys in our basket, that's not the case. Like, we don't have the time and emotional aspect to do all that.
Well, I mean, that is a great point. and this is why I'm glad you came on, because most men aren't thinking like that.
No, they're not thinking like that. That's too much time and honestly effort. And women, when they have children, they want a man that's going to be able to take care of their heart. For me, and again, I'm going to speak solely on me. I can't speak for a lot of other women, and a lot of other women will resonate with me. I don't need a man to come in and take care of me financially. I got me. I got my kid. I'm good. I need a man that's going to come in and take care of my heart. Moms do so much, Will. They do so much between the doctor's appointments, the schooling, the activities, the sports, the homework, the dinners, the bath times.
Wow.
Okay? They do so much. But when they feel like they can't do that, who's going to take care of them?
Yeah.
We don't get breaks.
Right.
Okay? We go into the pantry, we cry for 2 minutes, we scream into a pillow, and then we go back out doing the same damn thing we do every single day. And that's being a mom.
Right.
And so for me, I want a man I can't outman. And what I mean by that is not somebody that's going to come in and rescue me, because I don't need rescuing. I need a man that's going to allow me to be soft. I need a man that's going to allow me to feel safe. I need a man that's going to be like, babe, I got you. It's okay. And I don't need a man to come in and be daddy. My son has a great father. You know, I don't need that. And I think that's a lot of where men misconstrue dating a single mom, right? Like, I don't want to be a dad. I don't want to be a stepdad. Okay, well then don't date that person.
Right.
So.
Okay, this is amazing advice so far. Okay, so can you expand on, you said you ideally want a man that's emotionally available. We hear that term a lot. Can you kind of go deeper? How can a man be emotionally available?
All right, let's get into it. Don't pursue a woman. Don't pursue women and I'm going to say for both sides, because there are single dads out there too looking for a great partner. Be intentional. If you are going to pursue somebody and allow them to bring their guard down and allow them to feel safe enough around you, I see it happen, and it's happened to me, where it's like you be pursued and you're like, okay, let me be open to this, right? Let me allow myself to allow some of that love and affection to come in. As human beings, we are wired for connection.
Yes.
We are. And whether that's physical and mental connection. But when I say emotionally available, make sure you are in a good headspace when you're pursuing somebody.
Okay.
Because what happens a lot is you go in and it's fun and it's great and you're spending time with this person and they make you feel great and they make you feel loved and you find yourself laughing out loud. And then when things get serious, and what I mean by that is when it comes down to commitment, a lot of men say, oh, you know what? I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm not emotionally where you're at. I can't meet you where you're at. Then why did you open that door in the first place?
Yeah.
Why did you say, hey, I'm all in?
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm going to be 39 years old. As the kids would say, I can clock it if I know that you're not there with me. And I'm going to call you out for that.
Yeah.
My problem with it is men don't know how to have hard conversations because they don't want to be held accountable.
Yeah.
So what they do is they take that step back, then their effort changes, then their intention changes, then their consistency changes. And that doesn't break somebody's heart. That affects them mentally.
Yeah.
You can break my heart by saying, you know what? Will, I'm so sorry. I can't do this.
Yeah.
Will, I'm so sorry. I met somebody new.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I don't think dating a single mom, I can't take on those responsibilities. That gives the ending a place to land.
Okay.
But when you change your consistency, change your intention, change everything you gave this person right from the jump, and then you just kind of take a step back, and then I'm going to go into like silence and ghosting, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of men do it. I don't think women do it as much because women are emotional. Yeah. They are going to ask the questions. They're going to want the answers. Yeah. Where men's just like, all right, I'm done, and we're just going to pull back. For me, it's silence speaks louder than anything you can say to a female. And that leaves her mental state of mind in a place where you're always guessing, wondering what happened. And what that does, it affects their confidence. And it kind of makes you kind of question like, well, what's wrong with me? What did I do? They're going to go back and replay every conversation, every moment that you hung out with them, every intimate moment, every emotional conversation you had, all the goals and things that you have discussed. I think men really need to take a step back and say, hey, if I can't meet this woman where she's at, I'm going to go ahead and not hurt her and pursue her. But I think men want love and validation so much that they become a little bit selfish about it.
Yeah. Everything you just said is really, really solid. I think that from a man's point of view, I think that men, sometimes aren't the best communicators. Mm-hmm. They don't know how to properly articulate their feelings, and they're afraid that if they try to, it's going to be taken the wrong way. I think because of that, a lot of times they go silent. Yes. But rather not talk than try to explain how they're feeling. Whether it's I want a future with you or I don't. I think that if they can't easily understand how can I say this without assuming risk of her crying or getting mad or getting in a reaction that I'm not ready for, they go silent. Mm-hmm. But like you said, though, I love that. Silence speaks louder than anything you could say. So I do think that men do need to do a better job of communicating, being intentional, like you said. But the problem is that I think men are so afraid that, okay, I wish I could tell her the truth. If I tell her the truth, I'm going to be the bad guy. She may cry. She may get mad, whatever the case is. And so the default tends to be, okay, ghosting, stepping back, saying I can't do this, whatever it is. I feel like a lot of times what men say the problem isn't really the problem. They're afraid to say what the real problem is for reasons that I just said. So they'll give you, I don't want to date, a single mom, or I'm not ready to commit, or whatever, that facade is that they are comfortable with actually saying. That's not really the reason why they don't want to move forward.
No.
So it does boil down to communication. So I think that's a great that's a great piece of advice.
I think you have to have the hard conversations, and men don't know how to have the hard conversations.
We don't.
But I am going to piggyback on that. Women need to make men feel safe enough to have those hard conversations instead of the 30-page text novels and whatnot. Be like, it's very simple. What do you want?
Yeah.
What do you need from me?
Yeah.
How can I make you feel safe? How do you make me feel safe? And I think it goes into play both sides where, I think men, because naturally they're not as great as communicating their feelings as women, but women don't make men feel as safe to communicate too. Because instead of saying, if somebody were to come to me and we're dating and said, hey, you know what? I don't think I can do this. Okay.
Yeah.
Women, just say, okay,
it's
fine. Don't continue. I think what happens to somebody's character gets attacked, right? Because you want to get defensive. Somebody is always going to get defensive when things come to an end or a head. And I think that boils down to making sure that you guys are communicating in a safe way where we're adults now. We're not 12. We're not 13. We're not 16 in high school asking each other to the prom and saying all that. We have lives. We have foundations to build on. And how do we go from here to here? Communicate.
Right. And I totally agree. If women can make men feel safe, just speaking from personal experience, when I find that a woman, like when she gets upset, she's more of like a crier than like a yeller screamer. I tend to open up better to the woman that's like more of a crier, because I'm like, okay, if I tell her something, she doesn't like it, she's not going to get violent, right? And so if a woman has like kind of violent tendencies, then like me personally, I'm like a really bad communicator. I'm like, I'm not going to say anything to like really like piss her off. I don't want any trouble. If she's more of a crier, I know, okay, I can be more open. Worst case, she's going to cry. I can console her. I can make her feel better. And so just in my experience, that's where a woman has made me feel safe.
Yeah.
Just by kind of observing how she is when she's upset, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying, you are what you are, but just from my personal experience, you are right. Like if I feel like there's less risk in me saying something that could potentially upset you, I'm going to open up more.
And I think that's a great point, because why are we still yelling and screaming? We're grown. And that's on both sides. That's men and women. Why are we still yelling and screaming? I think what needs to happen on both sides, maybe take a step back. Here's point A, here's point B, here's point C. Take the emotions out of it.
Yeah.
It's simple questions, simple answers. Yeah. And again, I understand that not every conversation is going to be black, white, and we live in the gray. But for me, it's like I've learned how to navigate my feelings a lot better. If you talked to me 10 years ago, maybe there was yelling, screaming, crying.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I just need to know what you need, what I need. Are we going in the same direction? Are we not?
Love that. Okay. I want to focus on early in a relationship for this question. How does a man earn your trust?
Consistency.
Okay.
Consistency and attention. Women are very intuitive.
Okay.
We are so intuitive. If you are coming at us and you give us green flags by, listening to us, women want to be heard. Not so much the love bombing side, not so much as overcompensating your feelings and like, oh my God, you are so beautiful today. You're the most beautiful woman I've ever met. You are a dime a dozen. We don't want to hear that. We really don't. I know I don't. I don't want to hear that. I want you to hear me. Do you remember what my favorite coffee is? Do you want to know what my favorite food is? Do you know my son's name? Do you know the name of my gym? Do you know how many siblings I have? I don't care that you think I'm the most beautiful girl. Is it nice to hear? Absolutely. But when you come on that strong in the beginning, for me, that's a red flag.
Okay. I'm going to need you to repeat this for the guys so they can hear this again. This is some of the best advice I think I've ever heard in my life. Guys, it is not about telling her how pretty she is, how attractive she is. Do you remember the details? Correct me if I'm wrong. What's your son's name? What's your favorite drink? What's your whatever favorite color? Well, whatever it is. Like, pay more attention to what she tells you. Listen, remember the details. That'll actually get you the impact that you're trying to get when you tell her how beautiful she is.
Exactly.
Is that correct?
100%. Listen to the girls when they talk to you, because they're not subtle about it. We're not subtle. I'm not subtle. I'm going to tell you what I like.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not subtle by any means. Are you listening to that? Are you hearing her? I think a lot of men feel like they need to make the women feel like they're the only ones they're talking to, and she's the most prettiest person that they've ever seen. And when you're truly in love, I believe that. But right from the jump, I'm going to be like, nah, this guy's a player. Like, nah, he's talking to 10 different other girls. He's just seeing how fast he can wrap me around his finger.
Wow. Okay. So with that said, if a guy is trying to figure out if he wants to get to know you, I think that most men just default to telling you, hey, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, whatever. I just think men are. I don't think men are like trying to be pigs and
not at all.
But I feel like just don't know any better. And I think the advice you just gave, you just helped a lot of men right there, because it's like,
you're welcome.
Yeah, because it's like, hey, like they are trying to stand out and stand out from the rest and be special in your eyes. But it's like, listen, if you pay attention to, her coffee order, that'll get you further than telling her she's got a great body.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that right there, I think that's going to help a lot of guys. So that's a great answer by you.
Especially with technology, right? Especially with social media, Instagram, TikTok. She's got 100 other guys telling her she's beautiful.
Wow.
Okay? She wants you to know, what does she like for dinner? How does she like her bath? What kind of wine does she drink?
Wow.
All of that. Listen to that. Pay attention to that, because that's going to get you from here to here. You're going to stand out more than any other guy that's trying to get her too, because that's when their competition comes in.
Yeah.
Because right in the beginning, all your eggs aren't in one basket.
Right.
She probably has other guys pursuing her.
Yeah.
What's going to make you stand out?
Right.
To the other guys pursuing her.
Oh man, that is A+ advice. Okay. Yeah, that is. I just want to make sure I'm going to be replaying this clip on social media. That is great and so well articulated. And I don't think that men are pigs. I just feel like they're trying to make a good impression, and that's a great way to do it. Okay. How does having a child change the way that you personally approach dating?
I don't.
Okay, interesting. Explain.
So, I don't date a lot, only because I just don't find, this is going to sound really bad, but there's not a lot of people that can keep my attention. Okay. I am like you said, I like to converse. Okay. For me, I have to mentally connect with somebody. Okay. Physical aspect is great. That's a plus. Anytime the physicality is there, it's a plus. But can you hold a conversation with me? And can we get past the surface level conversations? And what I mean by surface level conversations is, for me, I own a business. I have a son. And I pay my own way. I pay my bills. I take care of my son. And I think a lot of men can find that intimidating. And so I don't necessarily, how do I word this without sounding, I get a lot of times that I emasculate men. Okay. Because I'm so independent and I'm so strong, like opinionated. Right. And I say what I mean and I mean what I say, right. And my actions speak what right. I say. And I think a lot of men don't approach me because right. that. And when I do get approached by men, it is, man, you're hot.
They don't know any better.
That doesn't connect to me. I'm so sorry. I don't care. Like, great. I'm glad. You know what? But the only person that really matters to me when they tell me I'm beautiful is my son. Yeah. Okay. Because 5-year-olds don't lie. Right. Yeah. He called me a big back the other day, and he ain't lying. Like, my son's not going to lie. They don't lie. The children don't lie. Yeah. And for me, it's like, let's bring back courting properly. And I know the younger generations be like, what's courting? Telling a girl she's beautiful instead of hot. Telling a girl like don't ever call a girl cute though. Like cute is what you call dogs.
Dogs, yeah. Totally agree. And listen, but that goes both ways. Ladies, don't ever call a guy cute. Cute, your puppy is cute.
Your puppy is cute.
Yeah. Men don't want to be called cute.
Yeah.
Pick something else. Handsome something. Don't say cute.
I think when you're dating a single parent, again, their guard is up a lot more than a lot of other single humans in the world. Yeah. And I think you got to find a way to allow that person to bring down their guard. And telling somebody they're beautiful, unless they are so desperate for that validation, I don't think that's necessarily going to work in our generation. Yeah. I think with the dating generation that we're at right now, especially dating single parents, and you see it a lot more, women are becoming more okay alone. They're happier alone because they have peace and they don't have somebody disrupting their peace. Mm-hmm. So,
no, and I definitely agree. I think that women are becoming more and more successful and able to create a life for themselves that they want. And if a man can't add to that, they're not just going to be in a relationship just to be in a relationship. You have to add value. I am an advocate for that. I think that a rising tide raises all ships. If women are getting better and doing more, that's going to force men to also step up too. I think that's great. I hear men a lot of times saying, oh, women, they're making more money and all that. They're going to be alone forever. I don't buy into that at all. And I want the other guy, I want my competition to have that mindset, have that loser, defeatist mindset, so that as I keep growing, me and my woman can grow together, right?
100%.
And so, but I don't care how successful you are. I think that all men should aspire to build a life that any woman, successful, whatever she does, wants to be a part of. Because you did say earlier, you don't need a savior.
Not at all.
You got yourself. But I would think, and correct me if I'm wrong, if there was a man that respected you and remembered the details and was a leader and that added value to your life, you wouldn't mind, as successful as you are, you wouldn't mind submitting to a man that you respected.
Not at all. And that's another point when I say I need a man I can't outman. Yeah. I need a man to make me be in my feminine side. Single moms are hyperly independent because they have to be. Yeah. They have to be because nobody is coming to help them. Yeah. There's nobody coming to save them. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is not some superhero movie. Okay. Mm-hmm. Superman's not going to fly in and be like, here, let me take care of everything. Women have to be hyperly independent as single mothers because they have to be. And so when we are looking for a partner, we're looking for a partner that allows us to feel safe, to be in our feminine side. Yeah. Now, with that being said, if I'm here, I want a man to take me here.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I want to be able to take my man from here to here.
Love that.
Okay? We have two strong tables that we're seated at. Yeah. Let's combine those tables and build this better foundation so that we have a life to build on.
Absolutely.
Okay? And that doesn't mean again, the financial part. Let's talk about the finances. It's like men are intimidated by women who make more. Yeah. But a lot of women don't mind being breadwinners now, as long as you're taking care of her heart.
Okay. Can you repeat that sentence one more time? Just guys, there's a lot of lessons going on. Please repeat that.
Okay. What I was saying is that women don't mind being breadwinners. Women don't mind going out and working as long as men take care of their hearts. When they get home from a long day, she wants to be taken care of. Yeah. That's something I look for in a partner too. There are going to be days where I can only give you 10%. Can you give me that 90% back? Yeah. There are going to be days where my man can only give me 10% and I want to be able to give him 90% back. Right. It's not always 50 and 50. Right. It's not. And then there's going to be days where your days are longer and harder and weeks. When you ask me what I want in a partner, it's not financial status. It's not career status. I want a partner that is willing Will. And what I mean by that is, are you willing to sit with me through the storms? Are you willing to sit with me when it gets hot? Are you willing to work through conflict with me? For people that sit out there and are happily married and say, we have no conflict, we're not ever annoyed with each other, I'm going to call bullshit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm allowed to say that,
Yeah.
but I'm going to call bullshit on you, all right?
You can say that, yeah.
I'm going to call bullshit on that, because if your partner is not annoying you, if they're not getting on your nerves, if you don't have any conflict, I don't think you're actually truly happy, because I think relationships are built on how you handle conflict,
right,
and how do you overcome the conflict together, whether it's bills, health, whatever it is, communication styles, love languages. How do you overcome that? How do you say, this is my love language, this is my love language, how do we meet here? And nobody wants to try on that anymore, because when it gets too rough, what do? Social media, and they're just going to go ahead and find the next person.
Absolutely.
The grass isn't always greener on on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it.
Love that. Love that.
So that's just my take on it. I need a partner that is willing. I don't necessarily think that people are willing to work on relationships anymore. And that's why there's so many single people out there, because they'd rather be alone than feel alone in a relationship.
Right. Right. Great advice. How important is your child's opinion of the man that you're dating?
It's important. My son's 5.5. He's going to be 6 in July. And I've been single for a couple years now, and I have dated a few guys. Not one of them has earned my trust enough to meet my son. So I can say that. Okay. My job is to protect my son. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to allow anybody that comes into my life to disrupt his life and peace. I don't want him getting attached to somebody that has no intention of sticking around.
Yeah, for sure.
So no, nobody has met my son. So I don't have a lot of opinion on that, but I think kids are very intuitive as well. They can know your energy. They can feel it. They can know if this person is, good for my mom. And that's a big fear I have, Will. Like, if we're going to get down to the nitty and gritty of it, like, something that scares me is my son is going to settle because he's never seen his mom be loved right. And I am essentially raising somebody's future husband, future father. And I'm going to do the best I can, and I'm going to love him with everything I can, because men who are loved right will love right.
Love that. Yeah. And that's a very interesting perspective. One last question. If you could give dating advice to 21-year-old Diane, what would it be?
Don't settle.
Okay.
And this is for everybody. And I want everybody to come up right close to the camera and listen to me when I say this. Okay. Alignment and relationships aren't always black and white. You can be completely in love with somebody and know what they can give you isn't what you need. And I think a lot of people settle because they want to be loved so bad that they are like, okay, I'm going to bring my expectations and lower my standards because he can't meet me where I'm at. Younger Diane begged for bare minimum. And when I was given bare minimum, I thought it was effort. It's not effort. Nobody needs to beg for bare minimum. And what I mean by that is nobody needs to beg for consistency, intentional, and emotional safeness. Nobody needs to beg for that. That is the bare minimum. And if that man can't reach your bare minimums, on to the next, because somebody is going to exceed that for you. Love and alignment are not the same thing, Will. They're not. You can completely be in love with somebody, but their ability to give you what you need is completely different from being in love.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, a lot of women especially, will lower their expectations and standards because they're made to feel bad for wanting consistency, for wanting that emotional stability, for wanting that safeness, that peace to their lives. And I think women need to set the standard higher. And I don't think that they need to bring down their expectations and boundaries for what they want and need. Because what that's going to do is, say you do stay with that person, that's just going to cause resentment down the line. you know? Like I brought my expectations and boundaries to here because you couldn't meet me here. Now, if a man's like 6 foot tall and he still can't reach the bare minimums, goodbye.
I think that's very powerful. You can't ask for the bare minimum and think that's effort.
It's not effort.
That's very, very powerful.
And I think a lot of the younger generation see that. And, when you are dating somebody that's a little bit older that has a little bit more grounding underneath them, it's not that I know everything. It's just like I've been through a lot of my life too. And I feel like everybody has emotional baggage or trauma. Every single person, whether it stems from their childhood, past relationships, whatever it is, whatever obstacles they had to overcome. I don't think people actually get over it. I think people learn to carry it better. And I think when people use, well, I'm damaged, I'm broken, aren't we all? Aren't we all a little broken? Right. So I just feel like when I say emotionally available, I think you have to be truly happy in the skin that you are in before you can make somebody else happy. And if you're not completely happy with who you are, don't pursue somebody else because it's nobody's job to make you happy. It's only somebody else's job to add to that happiness.
Right.
So.
Love that. Well, this has been amazing.
Thank you.
A lot of great advice. I appreciate you coming in. Are there any other topics that you want to touch on? Just any other random dating topics that you want to get out there?
I mean, not really. I think that people need to stay off dating apps that aren't actually ready to date. Yeah. I was on a dating app for like 2 or 3 months, and the amount of messages I got bombarded with was actually overwhelming. Did it make you feel good? Absolutely. But it's just like, it's so saturated now. Yeah. And I feel like every single person I did have conversations with, I felt in the second or third conversation, they weren't looking for anything serious. And there are people out there actually looking for an actual partner. Right. So I feel like if you're on those apps, then be intentional about it and, make sure that you're willing to give your time and emotional mindset to somebody that can receive it and receive it properly. I think let's talk about a funny dating story. So I finally said yes to a guy. Uh-huh. It had been maybe 4 months since I went on a date, on a proper date. And so I was like, okay, yeah, let's go on a date. He planned it, right? He did offer to come pick me up, but I am a control freak and I like to have my car. Yeah. I like to be in control. So I said I'd meet you at the restaurant. Now, after I did hair and makeup, which takes time, men. And for me, I am a tomboy. So for me to do my hair and makeup, it takes time and effort. Yeah. Thinking I've spoken to this person several times, you would kind of going back to listening. Yeah. I don't need to be wined and dined. Some women love to be wined and dined, right. and great for them. You could take me to a bar, buy me a Coors Light and chicken wings, and I would be completely happy. Right before, an hour before we were supposed to meet, he texted me how excited he was to actually spend time with me. But then he changed a little bit of his consistency and intention and was all like, he goes, I'm not that hungry, so maybe we could just share dinner tonight. You know what I did, Will?
What did you do?
Canceled the date.
Yeah.
As
you should.
It's all good. And I took my makeup off and I ordered Greek food and I watched a horror movie by myself. And I'm going to tell you why I did that. We haven't even been on a date and you're asking me to share an entree. Yeah. It's okay if you're not hungry. Okay, it's okay if you're not hungry. Let her order what she wants. Right. For me, that sets the precedent of how our relationship would be if I continue that. Right. And so I'm just going to end it. But what I did was I communicated and was like, hey, you know what? I don't think this is going to work out. I'm so sorry. Love that. I didn't ghost him. I didn't silence him. I wasn't rude. I was just like, you know what? And that's when I say, going back to, are you listening to the girl? Like, I would have been happy if we sat in your truck bed and had chicken wings and a beer. Yeah. I'm fine with that. Because you know why? It's not about the food. It's not about the wine. It's not about the champagne, the caviar. It's about spending time with somebody.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. And I love that. I've heard that the dating apps, the algorithm is designed for you to not find a partner, because if you find a successful relationship, then you're no longer going to use the app. So I have heard that it's rigged, like it's designed to have you swipe, go on one or two dates and then come back to the app. So the point of the app, if you actually find a good relationship, they lose customers and they lose money. So it's designed for you not to actually win. So interesting, like idea there. I don't know how true that is. I did hear that, and that's why I'll never use a dating app, because that does make sense to me. Just like anything else, it's a business at the end of
it is a business at the end of the day.
They are trying to make money.
Yeah,
a lot of these, Bumble is a publicly traded company on the stock market. They got to make money. So if people are all getting in happy marriages and happy relationships and get off the app, Bumble's not going to make money. So I'm not a fan of dating apps either.
Yeah, I deleted mine. Yeah. So I deleted mine. I want to meet my guy in like Trader Joe's or something.
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
well,
I love that.
I want us to reach for the same apple.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. I love that. Well, Diane, I appreciate you coming in again. You were amazing.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
my first podcast ever. So thank you for having me.
And listen, I know you've gotten other offers coming on other podcasts. I appreciate you coming in on this one, especially as I'm trying to build. You are amazing. So I appreciate
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Cool. Elite Level Status Podcast. I'm your host, Will Scott. We'll see you guys next time.